Hello, welcome to the Capital City Bloodbath, a 40k event. We've got to say it's 40k event.
We have to say it because then no one will listen if we don't.
Yeah, if we don't. It's a 40k event. Welcome to Tabletop Sports Network, Tsports Network, the home of tabletop sports. This is The Falcon.
Kaka!
And I am Rob, and we're here live in Ottawa, in Canada, and we're about to watch two exciting games of 40k, while 112 other players try to compete to become the winner of the largest 40k event in Canada this year. Pretty exciting accolade, Pete.
It is a pretty exciting accolade. And Capital City Bloodbath, it's named that for a reason. A lot of the top players in Canada are here today. The majority of Team Canada is here, except for Scary, who's in the chat, and that's because he decided to just stay in Europe for some reason.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he wanted some really dry, bland food, and
yeah,
he thought,
exactly.
I'll stay here longer.
A lot of blood in his sausage. That's all he wanted.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But, like, the tables we've got for you today have some current and former WTC players on board. I see a lot of red jerseys out here in the crowd. This is an exciting, exciting time. I'll have you know he's been having lovely food. That's perfect. I guess he has been only hanging out with celebrities.
Yes, that's true. That's true. That really does benefit him. Well, so yeah, loads of exciting matches. We've got an infield report of Val. He's going to be bringing you all the hot goss as the matches kind of like wind up, or maybe even mid-game as well, which is fun. We've got our Space Wolf check-in, which Space Wolf check-in, which we're doing now, which is really fun. We've got some exciting matches. We've got Knights, and then we've got Orcs versus Blood Angels. We'll talk about those in a little moment. Our infield reporter is Tom. He's actually doing a little roam for us right now, so you can see. Oh no, hold on, give me a minute. There you go. So a little roam around the room now. You can see that there's some Ultramarines playing on that table.
That's the Space Wolves, my friend.
Oh, that's the Space Wolves. That's the immediate Space Wolf check-in. Thanks, Tom. Give us a quick little spin around the room. There we go. There's our Space Wolf man. There he is. Ow!
He does look like a Space Wolf.
He does. He is. Oh, he's playing someone from My Chemical Romance. That's fantastic. Okay. That's really good to know. So there we go. This is Capital City Bloodbath. There you can see Ottawa. Huge gaming hall. Carpeted, which is actually a real nice little feature.
Everybody here loves that feature.
Everyone loves that feature. That's really nice. And there you can see. So that's the event. All right. So thanks very much, Tom. Really appreciate that. Let's talk about our first match. So this is Orcs versus Blood Angels. And in fact, our Blood Angels, who won the turn to go first, have already started to move. It's player-placed terrain, apart from the two pieces of terrain in the center. You've got Maxine versus with his Blood Angels versus Will with his Orcs. Pete, explain to me what the hell is happening. What's in the Blood Angels list?
So this Blood Angels list is a little bit off the bog standard, but it is pushing to what we're starting to see out of Blood Angels in an attempt to just eke a little bit more out of their pretty handsome secondary options. So what we see here, we've got, I believe this list is running 21 Sanguinary Guard, 3 units of 7. He's also got 2 large blocks of Death Company. And then I believe he has a 3rd unit of Death Company that were in a drop pod.
Which the drop pod has just landed. The drop pod has just landed.
Yep.
And this is huge. You can see it there in the very center left of the board there between those two pieces of ruins. This is really interesting. I thought drop pods were gone by the wayside, although actually I know last year we saw, for a little while, we saw a little bit of Death Watch drop pod in, being something that happened. So, like, what's happening? Is this common, the drop pod at the moment?
No, drop pods are not something you see every day. Sorry, he is only running the 2 units of Death Company. What this lets him do is it gets both squads of Death Company in Will's face turn 1 if he happens to go first. Mm-hmm. So he's able to pre-game move 1 unit of Death Company for 2 CP if he wishes, or he can split the squad, and then he can pop the other one into the drop pod and drop them down. And you're seeing here he's being a little bit cautious. Will's list is very much a heavy mech unit of Orcs, and they've got a ton of shooting.
Yeah, should we just go through the list? So the Blood Angels list, we've got
Blood Angels list, 3 big blocks of Sanguinary Guard, 2 big blocks of Death Company, 1 in a drop pod.
And so those are so am I right in thinking the Sanguinary Guard are much better than the Blood Company, or it's a case of they do different jobs?
They do the same jobs differently. Sanguinary Guard have that 2+ armor, which is now a 1+ because of Armor of Contempt, effectively. So they survive very easily. Everything has a power weapon on them. They have 1 billion attacks. They're very good at killing elite things. Then we've got the Death Company, which are generally are going to be a throw 'em and forget 'em, to toss that stuff out. He's got 3 Eradicators that are going to be pretty clutch in this first turn or 2 in trying to pick up planes off of Will. And then he's got just his backfield that are going to be his incursors and intercessors that are going to hold everything in the back.
So he's definitely got like a backline. We call them campers.
Yes.
Yeah, like bench warmers. They just sit at the back, do not much.
Yeah.
And then he's got that aggressive forward. And it looks like he's hitting like a wall of orc-based meat.
Wall of orc-based meat. So the Eradicators are no doubt trying to target prioritize those these 2 flyers we see at the bottom of the screen, because these
Wazbomb blaster jets.
The Wazbomb Blizzy Bats.
With teleporter mega blasters. My favorite unit, I think, in 40K.
It is often the slot machine of disaster for either the Orc player or his opponents. Because these guys put out a ton of damage. They hit on 3s. He's running them as Speed Freak, Speed Mob, which gives them a number of little extra bonuses. But they will cause no amount of grief for Maxim if they manage to get like their full shots off into something, because that's a lot of AP3 shots he's going to be putting out. Damage 3, I believe. They can put a lot of hurt depending on how many shots he rolls, and it's a big bad booty day if they go off. Now it looks like the Meltas from the Eradicators only put 6 or 7 wounds on one of the blaster jets.
I think seven. We got 7 from our table boss Rich.
And that was really it for the Blood Angels turn. The Blood Angels player really wanted to go second, I think, in this game in particular. He wanted to get those buggies out in the open first so that he could get that those first charges that he wants to do in turn 1 and really start tying stuff up. And we're seeing Will. Something about Will, he is part of Team Canada. He played Tyranids for Team Canada, and he is, I think, the most winningest Canadian player right now.
Oh, wow.
And at a GT level. He's something like 17-0 this year.
Wow, that's incredible. So this is Will playing with the Orcs.
Yeah, but he's been playing Tyranids all this time. He quick pivoted to Orcs because he's just kind of sick of Nids. He didn't have the best WTC. He kind of got thrown under the bus for a few of his games because that's how teams work. But here he is now, and he's having a great time with his Orcs. You can see he's shoving up to the middle right now with his Boom Daka Snaz wagons.
Well, so he's got a variety of different buggies in here, right?
Three of each, yeah.
He's got 3 of each, so you can see them there in the center. So it does look like he's got Mecha Jet Scrap Jets there, Boom Daka Snaz wagons, and does he have? Yes, he has some Rucker Truck Squig buggies on the right-hand side.
He's got the custom Booster Blasters, actually.
Oh.
The Scrap Jets and the Rucker Trucks. That's my bad. They all have too many names. He's also got a Bone Breaker hanging out in the back to do some charge business, and 6 Defcopters. And the Defcopters, for me, in this list, they are often the thing that's going to do the most damage that you're not expecting, because they can fire and fade if he's made them Evil Sons, but he went with Freebooters to get the most out of their shot.
Because Freebooters, either they lost their FAQ recently or
they
lost it. So now they're again able to shoot unit and get +1 to hit with everything.
Yes.
Okay, so that's actually huge.
Yeah.
Do you think that's helped Orcs have a little bit of a comeback on what they're looking to achieve?
I don't really think so. I think this is a real casual jank play by Will to run the Freebooters. What we've seen from Orcs is their most successful lists have still been Goffs, because Gazgul Thraka is a beast, and with the lowering of points on boys and on Beast Naga boys and things like that, it's given them a new lease on life in terms of playing that way. But this is a way more fun way to play. Just many shots, flying around the board as fast as you can. I love it.
I mean, look, there's so much board space here. So as we can see on the far right-hand side as well, it looks like he's got some Death Company. So Maxine's put some Death Company with, I think, another unit. I'm not quite sure what's behind there. Is that the other unit of Sanguinary Guard? Because he's got 2 on the left.
So he's got 1 squad of Sanguinary Guard here by the looks of things.
So that's the counterpunch unit, right? He's really baiting in anything charging into the Death Company in the center, and then he's going to attack back. I think is going to be the key. So just so you guys can see what we're talking about, it's over on that right-hand corner there.
Yes, right
we'll do a little bit of a zoom in. So you can see, so this is a real trading situation in that kind of right-hand side, right?
Yeah, for sure. So these Sanguinary Guard are hoping that Will kind of takes the bait, comes in and kills these Incursors, and then they can pop out onto this objective and then kill whatever's probably going to hide in that building. And then if we back up, we can see we've got this other squad of Incursors kind of fully hemmed in by the Sanguinary Guard there. And then, we've got these 20 Death Company. Now, the Death Company, they can be a little more survivable than you'd think, because they do have access to a 2 CP stratagem to give themselves a feel no pain for the turn. The Wazbomb Blaster Jet, I believe, is AP 3 damage. 3?
Yeah, no. So
it
depends if he's giving him the custom blaster underneath.
Yes.
But we'll see the damage is. So that's our first. That's one of our games. Our other game, and as you can see, those planes already targeting that key unit, which is the Sanguinary Guard at the back left-hand corner there. So pretty important that he's able to get it. Our other game is Knights. That's right, Imperial Knights versus Chaos Knights, and actually, I'm pretty certain Imperial Knights got the first turn. I'll just get that double check from. Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Definitely did.
So this will be Ian with. So Ian with his Chaos Knights at the top. He's got a huge collection of War Dogs. That's right. Witness me is what he's going to be screaming as he goes through the game. Who watched the world burn? And then Burton, he's playing with his Imperial Knights. Now his Imperial Knights are beautiful. He won the turn to go first, and I know that he's already through on his shooting phase. So we'll talk about that in a little moment, just so you can see how nice this army looks. So there's the War Dogs. Pete, is this common? Chaos Knights and a load of War Dogs?
Yes, Chaos Knights, most of their lists are going to be heavy War Dog. Usually the lists that have been performing really well have been 10 or 11 War Dogs with Abaddon, or with one big boy knight. But Abaddon tends to be the favorite. Going pure War Dogs is an interesting choice. Being House Vextrix is also interesting. That gives him like a free reroll to hit and to wound in the shooting phase for every one of these little boys. And it lets him take a Warlord that's a little more survivable than you'd expect. So he's got a Carnivore here with the Warlord trait that lets him regen, I believe it's D3 wounds every turn. So he can be a little bit more aggressive with him if he needs to be.
So this is the Chaos Force?
This is the Chaos Force, yeah.
Yeah, we were just looking at the Imperial Force, but this is the Chaos War Dogs at the moment.
Yeah, and then the Imperial Force here, this is kind of your bog standard competitive Imperial Knights list right now. 2 big boy knights, either 2 Crusaders or a Crusader and a Paladin as House Tyrannus, and then as many little Armigers and, the other guy, and Armigers that you can take.
Yeah.
So it looks like one of the baby knights was killed, and then another one has been brought down to 2
So just to be
remaining.
more specific, thanks, Rich. Love you to pieces. Just Imperial versus Chaos Knights, because they're all knights.
So it's Imperial Knights still doing their shooting phase. So this list, the Imperial Knights list, has a lot of damage potential. It has the Imperial Knights combo of a House Tyrannus Knight that can change any one of its rolls into a 6. There's a stratagem called Calculated Targeting, where any 6s you roll to wound do mortal wounds for the amount of damage from your weapons instead of regular damage. So, like, if it goes off, you can do 20 to 30 mortals to something.
Oh, so that tiny knight in the middle has just saved himself, just rolled 3 saves to save.
Yeah.
So how did he end up in the center? Like, because Imperial Knights went first.
This is the Imperial Knight. This is so what. What we're seeing here from Burton is he's playing very casual. He definitely wanted to go second in this game because he's the shooty list and he wanted the dogs to come up. So all he's doing is he's putting one guy out to make sure he gets that middle objective to score his extra primary points, because in this particular mission you need that center objective to score primary, the second primary. And then what he's done with the rest is he's just got them backlined and he's laying down fire into whatever he has range on. This list also has a Bastard Helm on one of the Armigers, which means 2 of the Armigers in this list get +1 to wound with all their shooting.
Oh, nice.
And that's going to come in really key in the
Is it
in the
strength
mirror.
7 on their guns?
It's strength 7, so against these little boy knights, he's going to be wounding on 2s or 3s, depending on which ones he's shooting into, I believe. And there's no big boy knights for him to really worry about. So, like, this is
an interesting matchup. Like, what do you do? Do you just yeet all of your War Dogs into the front? Like, is this a game of like angles? We're seeing a laser pointer, so it feels like it must be a bit.
For both of them, it's a game of angles. Like the War Dogs are going to really have to play. I hate to use the word, but cagey.
Okay, why do you hate to use the word?
It's just a word that everybody uses, and it's so overdone.
Oh, okay.
But
apologies.
Anyway,
okay.
Okay. Oh, wow. So we just got word that Chaos War Dog survived.
So this is the one in the top right-hand center.
This one here that's down to 2 wounds. He survived all of the shooting. Oh, no. It's the one in the middle.
Yeah. The little guy.
No, he must. He means this one. That's the one with the dice. By middle, he means back middle.
Yeah, back middle. Top middle.
Richard is all over the place over here, guys. Really sorry.
He's doing great. You're doing great, Richard. Don't get put off. You're giving us loads of info. Love it. Yeah,
Weird
great job.
AOS game. Exactly, Moon Tyrannid. AOS isn't real.
He is Moon Tyrannid. That's correct. Yeah, I agree. Monty Raid is what I call him, though. Okay, yeah, so Imperial Knight's going first, so that's what's happening. War Dogs haven't gone yet. So that's what my question. You think they're going to move out cagily, but look at this no man's land, like, on the left-hand side. Like, so player placed in the center, and then, there's a lot of no man's land here. Like, do you think there's enough output for the War Dogs? Oh, the baby knight did die. So we lost our first War Dog.
And another one has been wounded in this corner, but I don't think there's much else that has access to him. So.
This feels super rough for Ian and the Chaos Knights. Like, where does he put all of his units that he isn't going to get just slammed by this shooting?
Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
So do you think this is a situation? Because I know player-place terrain has become like fairly common in NA, fairly common with CCBB doing the two centerpieces are deployed by the TOs effectively, and everything else by someone else. So it kind of stops that game in the middle. What do you think? Like, what do you think in this particular matchup? Because it looks pretty rough, like nowhere to move those knights.
Like, the one thing I probably would have done differently on the Chaos Knight side, I don't know, we didn't watch exactly how each piece was placed.
Although it was fully recorded.
So other people can.
Yeah.
But this particular piece, if I had the option, I would have shoved it up further. I would have definitely made sure that it was a little closer to the other side.
Oh, so we just lost another one of our War Dogs. That's 2 War Dogs gone down now for no return at the minute. So that was the one that was in the corner that we just...
it was this one. There must have... we can't really see this corner here. There must be another another armature that had line of sight. Maybe the Bastard Helm one, so he's getting some bonuses. This is really going to be a hard matchup for these Chaos Knights just based off of like this big space, which is what I was trying to say. Like, if this piece was a little bit farther up, I'd say they'd have a little bit better of a chance, because there are a lot of close combat dogs here that can run up and start to make a mess of these armatures. But
yeah, of course. So that's pretty interesting. Like, I think what's with the indoor hat craze?
It's really just Rob. Rob started a thing.
There's 2 people with hats here. That's all there is. That's all that's going on. That's it. Anyway, so those are our 2 matches. Pretty exciting. So time to talk about it. So table 1, and we've seen the Orcs move into the Blood Angels now, and then Chaos Knights versus Imperial Knights. Chat, time to let us know what you're thinking. And Falcon, time for me. Like, again, I'm not the 40k expert. I'm here to ask the questions.
Sure.
It feels like this Imperial Knight versus Chaos Knights, I'm not really certain what we can see being done by the Chaos Knights. I feel like they're going to walk into the mid-board and die.
I feel like that's what they have to do, but they can do it in, like, a lot of it's going to come down to turn 2. How fast are they going to push up? How aggressive are they going to be? And like, this guy, he's been sent to his death. It's a gorgeous model, but really, like, what I think is going to have to happen is we're going to see like a very quick collapse of as many War Dogs as possible into the center.
And we've lost 2 already.
Yeah.
2
so there's 12 left. I believe there's 14.
There was 14 initially, so 2 already gone.
There's still 12 boys, and you can probably slam 5 of them in here real quick, and then hope that by getting the right angles, you're only losing a couple a turn, and you can start banging up the primary and kill as many armatures as you can. Leave the big boys, because they're like, you don't have the strength to deal with them early.
No, yeah, okay. I think this honestly is a very interesting match. So this one on table 2, and now on table 1, and as Thomas pointed out in the chat, we've seen the Orcs kind of make their first turn play. So we've seen the 2. So we're in the Orc shooting phase. Blood Angels first turn. We took 2 units of big Sanguinary Guard over on the left-hand side with some intercessors, and then in the middle we had 2 units of Death Company, one of which is slowly dying.
Yeah.
And
so it looks like as many buggies as possible are coming into this Death Company squad. I'm assuming it was the jump packs, because they put the drop pods here. We're getting word that the Orc shooting has been doing exactly what it sometimes does, which is whiff miserably. Tom mentioned in the chat he's wondering if it would have been better to put the WAS bombs into the other corner where there was only the 1 Sanguinary Guard squad. I do think that's the better play, because if you clear these Sanguinary Guard, there's no real clapback from the Blood Angels into these bombers, and then they can pivot and come this way after that. By putting them up here, you're really hoping that the slot machine goes in your favor, like I mentioned, and then you roll big.
That's interesting. So what you're saying is resource management. He should have. So this is what we've got on the kind of top right hand side here. You really feel like the WAS bomb shouldn't have been in here, and instead having the movement should have been over in this far left hand side. And I think that's kind of interesting in dealing with those Sanguinary Guard in the top right, because then, effectively, then they've got no retort.
No, there's nothing like, if these Sanguinary Guard are dead or there's only like 1 of them left, these WAS bombs are free next turn to then collapse into the middle. Then you probably lose them, but you've now had two full turns of destroying your opponent instead of what may just be 1. Yeah, the game just won instantly. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, Tom, but you're right. Like, that is the better play in my opinion. But Will's been playing for a long time. He might have a plan, or maybe he just got a little tunnel visioned by there being so much stuff here, and that's where he just wanted to go play.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, so what we're really talking about is like dealing with threats and board presence. Those two kind of like you're always trying to like pull a couple of different levers when you're playing any tabletop war game, right? And one of those things is like if you can dominate the board presence and kill what you can kill. There's a lot of snapback here, but maybe also if we think about what Will's done is while the planes are a real problem. What we're also going to see is that very much like we saw in the last game, this means that Maxime's got lots of places to go with his army, and whatever happens.
Now from what we're being told, 7 Death Company have been picked up so far from the shooting of the buggies. Can we get a look at secondaries? Did Maxime pick the Death Company secondary?
I can take you right now. So these are the secondaries we've got.
Did not. Okay.
So Maxime's got Bring It Down, Pete. I'm going to go through them and you tell me what they are.
Bring It Down, kill vehicles. There's a lot of vehicles. It's a good choice.
Perfect. Oath of the Moment.
Kill stuff and stay in the center of the board. He wants to do both of those things. It's not a terrible choice. I think there's better picks now for Space Marine factions, but because it was nerfed quite a bit in Nephilim, but it's doing what he wants to do. So if he's just looking for like easy points he doesn't have to think about, not a terrible option.
Engage on all fronts.
Be everywhere all the time. He's a fast army. I like Relentless Assault a little bit better, even into this orc list, where you try to have more units in your opponent's deployment zone than he has in yours. It would suck for turn 1, but then after that, you're often in a good spot. It's hard to say because this is a very fast list.
He is not getting into that middle. Like, I know the Sanguinary Guard are good, but like, surely, like, he's just done now. He's just pinned into that back corner.
Is he?
Isn't he?
It really depends. It depends on where his what he decides to do. He either explodes into the middle and ignores the WAS bombs.
He has to.
Or he kills the WAS bombs. Both are solid options here.
But then he gives up on Oath of the Moment, right?
Yeah, you're right. And so like he does have basically 14 Sanguinary Guard that can go here, and 1 unit of Sanguinary Guard is easily going to pick up a WAS bomb. And then he also has these 3 Eradicators that haven't taken anything. We'll have to see once the shooting phase is done what actually happens to them. But the 3 Eradicators should pick up the other WAS bomb. And yeah, I don't think he's in that bad a spot. It really depends on if he manages to pick up all 20 Death Company in the middle, or if he only gets 1 squad, as to how Will feels about this turn.
So this is Orcs' first turn, with Blood Angels already having had their first turn. So that's what we're currently looking at. So just going through the shooting phase, and we might see some charges as well. We'll kind of talk about that in a moment. That looks pretty good. Talking about the secondaries, though, for the Orcs, we've got no prisoners, Pete.
That's you score as many points as you do wounds divided by 10. So Space Marines often have 140, 150 wounds on the board. So Will's thinking like if he manages to table him, he'll get 12 or 13 points.
Okay. Get to good bits.
So this is an orc-specific secondary where he just has to be on objectives with his orc boys. It's pretty easy to get. It's one of the better orc objectives. And then what's his final one?
And his final one is engage on all fronts. Be everywhere all the time. Okay, all right, well, we love that. Okay, fantastic. If you just joined us, by the way, thanks for tuning in. This is Capital City Bloodbath 2022. This is a 120-person, roughly, 40K event here in Ottawa in Canada. Some pretty major names here from the Canadian scene playing, and the Falcon is my co-commentator. My name's Rob, and we're going to be bringing you these 2 really exciting matches. So this is our first one. We're at the bottom of turn 1. Orcs have had their turn. I think
the Orcs are just finishing up now.
Let's we might be able to listen in. Let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works this time.
That's pretty good. 10, 20 shots.
How many Death Company are left?
12, 18, 20. For 4s for these. Not that it made much fucking difference. And 3s are rolling 1s.
On the same squad?
The same squad.
Okay.
Yeah. 7 AP, 3, 2 damage.
So 5.
Got him just barely.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Shot. I'll chuck these guys.
That on the Eradicator?
Yeah, on these guys. You know what? I'm going to chuck them here, actually. 18, 4, 8, 16, 24 shots at those last two Death Company.
Okay.
6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24 for 5s. No rerolls for them to wound. And 3s, AP1. Six AP1 on those Death Company.
Okay. 6. 6 3 plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Take
Yep.
a wound.
Well, feel no pain, right?
Not on the red skater.
No, I changed to the Death Company.
The Death Company, okay.
No.
Nope.
So kill the wounded guy. All that's left is my planes.
So we've still
Finally?
got the planes
So
to
they're going to get the
go
plus
there,
one to
Pete.
hit, which is
So-
good.
So what we've seen is Will actually killed 19 of the 20 Death Company that were in the middle of the board with the buggies.
That's incredible, right? Because they're 2 wounds apiece.
They're
So
2 wounds apiece.
that's
They have a
18.
6+ feel no pain. They're sitting on a 2 or a 3 up armor save, depending on where they were against most of those shots. Yeah, and I would just have to assume that he didn't bother popping the 2 CP for the feel no pain. Maybe he didn't have it at the beginning of the game because of his pregame spending. So yeah, so these flyers are definitely gonna. If I were he's gonna probably split fire. I think he'd want those eradicators dead. Knowing that he killed 19, that's massive. That's that much force into that middle board is not good for Maxim. Like he wanted at least one of. I thought he'd kill maybe 10. Killing almost 20 is huge, and still having the Blastogets to go. Like
we haven't even seen them swing yet.
as far
we
as
haven't
I know,
even seen
the
them shoot.
Blastogets have not even rolled it. Dickie had mentioned that they'd already shot, but I think it was something else because they're already he's looking at rolling more dice.
This could genuinely be, ladies and gentlemen, a whitewash. Excited to see. Talking about whitewash, we're going to go over to our man in the field, Mr. Val Heffelfinger, and he's going to tell you what's happening at the rest of Capital City Bloodbath. Over to him right now.
Not just our man in the field, your man in the field, your very own Val Heffelfinger. This is a co-jam production between the Tsports Network and the Frontline Gaming Network. That's the one I'm on usually. Anyway, we're here at Capital City Bloodbath, as you well know. Behind me, we of course have the People's Champion, Connor Makarucha, playing his Space Wolves into some chaos again this round. We're going to see how it goes. Abaddon the Despoiler showing up, as if Mortarion himself wasn't enough. Now, if we just keep going a little bit down the row here, in the background, off there in the distance, on this table, large, red, also green. It is a gargantuan squiggoth, everybody. Perhaps the finest model in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and rarely seen in these parts. Some thought the gargantuan squiggoth was in fact extinct. Not so, says Justin Curtis. Podcaster, perhaps still, maybe, I don't know, I haven't heard in a long time from the Drunken Dreadnoughts. Regardless, these guys are having a real cool big monster throwdown. And you know what? The round's been going on for more than a few minutes, and the big squig, still alive. Is it because they don't care and they haven't killed it? I don't know, but I'm just happy to see the fella here. So why don't we just keep on coming down the row, and I'll remind everyone in chat, I think now Twitch and YouTube both have access to the ! Other Games command, which should bring up a link to a Word doc that I'm updating when I wander around here with scores. I take photos of Dustin Henshaw's GSC score, and I put it on there because he doesn't use ITC battles, so it would look nice. And then there's also other ones. There's Sam Procopio we're following, the Blood Angels Beefcake. You can see all of his intense details and training regime by using the ITC Battles app. Also, Jeremy Atkinson, crowd favorite around these parts, requested by the Big Bird Falcon himself. His game is being tracked via the ITC Battles app that you can access by going ! Other Games, I'm pretty sure. So that's it from this quick wrap up. I'm going to try and get some interviews later as the round goes on. I'm going to try and get you the information you need. And remember, you can always pay me money to do stuff. Back to you, Robin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Heffelfinger.
So, big news, big news.
Yeah, we're on table 2. So this is Chaos Knights being run by Ian, and Burton is running his Imperial Knights. The Imperial Knights went first. We saw them shoot 2 of the 14 War Dogs they're up against down. Now we're into turn 1 for the Chaos Knights. And Pete, what's happened?
So, I didn't think this would be possible with that Warlord having a 4+ invuln and all that other beautiful stuff. But Ian's Chaos Knights came around this corner, and Burton had his big boy knight sticking just a little too far out this side so he could get angles himself, and disappeared.
Wow.
Disappeared from just War Dog shooting.
Just War Dog shooting. That's pretty big punch turn 1.
That's massive for Ian, being able to kill that big boy. Now, Burton does take 2 Crusaders specifically so that he does have a backup plan if one of them goes down early. But losing your Warlord that early is massive, massive news for the Chaos Knight player. It definitely puts Burton back on the back foot because now he's outnumbered. It's a quick turnaround. This might become a game. It's going to be a fast game one way or another, but this is going to be brutal.
Yeah, we talked about how difficult it would be for those War Dogs to move into the center. But if there's nothing shoot back at them when they're in the center, then they're in a super okay place.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I really like how he split up the different units to try and try to mitigate where some of those lines of fire may come in across the board. That's quite nice. While also giving himself a bunch of options. At the end of the day, those War Dogs are fast enough that they can get around some of those kind of angles. And there's some real good, clear lines of fire. But yeah, the Chaos Knights are going first. Chaos Knights are going second in turn 1. And this is the matchup. That's pretty huge. So what's the retort going to be from the Imperial Knights? What do you think?
Well, now that the Chaos Knights are out in the open, he's not hiding behind anything. He's not going to have to worry so much about angles so badly. He's going to be able to get his other big boy knight out. He's going to have to pop calculated targeting and split some fire. If he can pick up, I think a big thing will be if the Bastard Helm also survives this turn. If I could find out where the Bastard Helm is on this table, that would be super nice. I'm assuming he's also in this bottom corner. Because that will mean that at least 2 of those armigers are going to be fighting, going to be shooting at a little bit more potential than the rest of the list. Because he's going to need to clear a flank here. He's going to need to clear 3 or 4 of these dogs.
He's gonna need to clear as many as possible from them because he only killed 2 last turn. I don't know if he's going to have the output now, especially having lost the Warlord.
Yeah. Okay. So this knight here has the Bastard Helm. That's good. Still good news there. Because if he can pick up one side and collapse a flank, it'll make this more of a game.
What does the Bastard Helm do?
Bastard Helm, it gives an armiger a bondsman ability where he himself gets +1 to wound with any of his attacks, and he can give that to one other armiger knight that's within 6 inches of him. So he basically has 2 armigers that get that +1 to wound. He's just that much more capable of dropping these little baby knights, and it should help him at least clear off this angle if he wants to, and then kind of shove up and make this more of a Dawn of War play if he really, really wants to go that route.
Interesting. Okay, interesting. Right, so if we just jump back to... So that's where we are now with the Imperial Knights about to take their first turn back. Wow, the Bastard Helm just got shot into, though, because we're not at the end of the War Dog shooting for Chaos Knights, and everything you just talked about, Pete, is held on by 1 wound.
Yeah,
he's
Bastard
clinging
Helm is
to
down
life.
to 1 wound.
Yeah.
This is not good for Imperial Knights. I feel like there was some kind of deployment problem here for the Imperial Knights to even leave that as an option.
You think this is a super tough position for them to be in?
If he loses 2 of the bigger parts of his list in terms of damage output, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the bit that I'm most excited about, I think, has got to be this War Dog via armiger fight in the little middle.
Yeah.
That's just cute. That's just cute. They're like, oh, we'll let the big guys shoot at each other.
Yeah, we're just going to come in here and hug.
Yeah.
They're best friends.
Yeah.
They remember each other from a bygone era.
Yeah, well, they're just going to headbutt is what they're going to do, I think. Table 2 looking very, very spicy for Chaos Knights.
So we did learn some stuff about Table 1, if we go back there very quickly. At the break, we were talking to Dickie to get a full breakdown of how...
Wow.
About how this happened.
Yeah, so just Table 2, the Bastard Helm has gone down
right
as well.
Here has been removed.
Wow.
That's real bad for Imperial Knights. He still has a game. That one Knight Crusader can put in a lot of work, but he's going to force him to do it. I want, like, that feels like a mistake.
I don't know. I feel like if he's got the output to bring down the other Crusader and the Bastard Helm
He
guy,
definitely does for sure. Like
what I mean is like no matter what we see Burton do in his turn, he's going to then lose all those pieces again. And there's some really good board presence from Ian and the Chaos Knights as well. Like he's really dominated that board in a nice way.
Like he's gonna have to get really aggressive with that Crusader. Yeah, so he's not gonna do any charges. I mean, these are two shooty armigers looking at each other.
Pistols at dawn.
Pistols at dawn.
Yeah.
So like this Crusader's gonna have to come out to play. Like he's gonna have to be aggressive with them. He's gonna have to shove them up, and he's gonna have to use them in close combat as well as in shooting. In my opinion, if he's gonna try to turn any of this back, but that puts him in range of all this stuff up here. That does not look good for the Imperial Knights, losing those two big pieces in this army.
No, it does not. Okay, table 1, and so just to keep everyone updated what happened, first turn was taken by Blood Angels. We saw 20 Death Company move into the center board. We saw 2 units of Sanguinary Guard, some Intercessors on the left, and another unit of Sanguinary Guard on the far right-hand side. And we also saw a unit of, I think, were they Intercessors that we saw hold that side right objective?
Yeah.
So there was some...
Incursors, sorry.
Incursors, sorry. So some Incursors holding it. And then and then we had the Orcs slap back. And Pete, what happened by the Orcs with the Orcs slapping back?
So we were trying to we had kind of talked about how these WAS bombs we felt would have been better placed up here to deal with this unit. But what we didn't account for was that Will Paul rolls like a champion and Maxime does not. So we were trying to figure out how 19 Death Company would have died in the way they did, and the WAS bombs still had not shot. And the reason why they died so quickly is because Will did about 20 some odd wounds with just the rivet cannons on the booster blasters.
Okay.
So the booster blasters, they hit on 4s. They're strength 7, AP 2 damage flat. He's shooting into a unit that's in cover, so they're going to have a 4-up save, and they're going to have a 6-up feel no pain, possibly a 5-up if he wants to spend the 2 CP, Maxim. Maxim didn't bother because he didn't think it would be that big of an issue, and 15 Death Company were picked up from just those 3 buggies shooting.
Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
Like absolutely unbelievable stuff. And the board state is just genuinely amazing. Thanks, Tom, for the lovely shots. I really appreciate that. The board state is just super good. So there's only Sanguinary Guard on the right hand side. We've lost a huge portion of the units on the left hand side as well from that bolt from the WAS bombs as well.
It looks like they only lost 2, maybe 3 Sanguinary Guard, because we can see about 4 of them hanging out here. There might be more hiding if we can get a...
Tom's going to go over and do a little investigate for us, I'm pretty certain.
He's just busy hanging out with Dickie. But, I mean, if there's 11 Sanguinary Guard here, that is fine. We're seeing...
Don't listen to us.
We're seeing the Death Company captain come out to play. So this Death Company captain, he's got Imperium Sword, he's got a Thunder Hammer. He's expecting a lot from him to go in solo against these buggies, but he should be able to pick up 1 or 2 of them at the very least when he charges in.
Yeah, so we're seeing that unit move right now, but there's 7 in this unit in the far right-hand side.
So far right there were 7, and then I'm really more interested in the other one, the one that used to have 14. How many were picked up by the WAS bomb?
Yeah, how many were picked up by the WAS bomb? So this is kind of in that far left. To you, bottom left. I've just realized.
The one you're looking at right now, I believe. There should be 2 units. There should be 3 units in total on the board, unless a lot were killed. So. Okay, he did pick up 6.
That's huge. He lost 20 Death Company.
He lost 19 Death Company.
19 Death Company. He lost 4 of 7. No, 6 of 7. No, 6 of 7 Sanguinary Guard. Yeah. He's got 1 unit of Sanguinary Guard left and another unit of Sanguinary Guard, which is just seen move onto the far top right-hand corner. Right-hand objective, not top right. Yeah. Hand objective, and they're going to be charging in there as well. And absolutely nothing to say to all of the buggies in the middle.
No, I mean. This is going to be his decision point, Maxim. Is he going to leave the WAS bombs now because he has to? And that's what I'm pretty sure he's.
And I mean, then he's in the great. Will's in a great place. Will's just going to fly them over into the right-hand objective and start dealing with those Sanguinary Guard.
There and deal with these unless he can wrap and trap, and then Will can just fall back if he really needs to.
I am amazed by the output. Do you think this is just a dice situation? It just rolled. It just did not go well. It had to be.
To have 3 custom booster blasters kill 14 or 15 Death Company, that's not math in any situation.
Yeah.
Custom booster blasters are hitting on 4s. and they're wounding on 3s. He's still going to have a 4-up save against most of those shots, plus a feel no pain. Yeah, it's a weird thing to have that many die. Like usually your math, you kill 5 or 6, but then you have all those other buggies. You probably kill both squads if you put like your whole army into both squads, and that's if Maxim decides to spend some resources once he realizes what's happening. And he didn't spend any because he didn't assume that the damage output would be that great.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. I was really expecting some sort of mid-board kind of game where we saw the units kind of hide, then fly over because they've obviously got the fly keyword, do some charges, very much like we see the Death Company in the kind of left-hand side now, but not Death Company, sorry, Sanguinary Guard. So you can see they've moved into this kind of absolute wall of Orc Castle, but I'm like, what are you going to do? You're pretty good. I get it. You're the chosen ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand you're covered in plate gold armor. I don't know if that's enough.
No, I don't know.
Because there isn't many of them.
Not anymore.
And the law is that the armor is left on the battlefield, and they don't make any new armor.
No.
So it's not replicated. It's repaired, and they're never getting this armor back. Them orcs are sticking them right on top of a Gretchen's head.
Oh yeah, 100%. These are now Gretchen hats. That should be what we call this army going forward.
Yeah, the
Maxim's
Gretchen
army is now Gretchen hats.
Yeah. It's all good. Unbelievable. So, I do not... what does everyone in the chat think? That's the real question. Let's tune into the players, because, surely... Let's tune in right now,
it's
see how the players are
Maxim being depressed, for sure.
Got to be.
For reasons.
Yep. Fine.
Oh, it's a bit
Go
quiet
on
there.
4. Rerolling.
So this has got to be the charge on the left-hand side.
This is shooting.
Trying to will his dice into doing something.
5.
On
Thanks,
5.
Nurgle Matthew, for telling us the sound is good. Love you, bud.
3 wound, -2.
-2. So they advance to 5 up invul. You kill a bike. That one in particular. Fuck that guy.
Didn't enjoy that bike. That's what he just said.
Boot is Inferno Pistol.
Okay.
And the bolter.
There's a guy at 1 wound, just so you know.
Okay, I will start with the bolter.
Okay.
So 4 shot. On 5. Nothing. Pistol. Hit. Are they -1 to it?
No,
too?
not this turn.
Okay.
That was
Wound.
5 up invul. Nope. He's got 1 wound left. So
He's dead.
does he explode?
Just
No.
constant whale of shots there, Pete. What do you think?
It just, yeah.
Shoot.
Just
Shoot.
minor
shoot.
shooting here from the Sanguinary Guard. He had an
Grenade.
Inferno pistol there that finally picked up 1 buggy.
Crack grenade?
Now we're seeing crack grenades go
Nope.
out from that 1 remaining Death Company guy by the sounds of things.
The Blood Angels are light on resources now, and they've got to do a lot of work.
He's got he sent it looks like this is that the solo Sanguinary Guard, and I imagine
Sorry.
Dante's
It's all
up there
good.
because
My
I don't see
2CP.
Dante on the board anywhere.
More for your benefit than mine.
To try and deal with these WAS bombs. He's got these big block of
not
yeah.
the
So
wall,
Dante's up there. He's got this block of 7 here to deal with.
So the 100 bolt gun would go
Are
1
those
there,
bikes or are those choppers we're looking at
yeah.
here in that ruin
1,
there?
2, 3.
So over in that bottom right-hand
3
corner,
tents there.
ruin.
So 1 there, 3 there.
Sure.
So there we go.
There we go.
We've got a unit of bikes, I'm pretty certain.
Looks like bikes. Yeah, it's hard to tell the way Will kind of model these guys sometimes. And if we go back up,
Yes.
so there's something that surprised me about how Maxim started this game, and that is, and it might just be a CP thing because he's now down. He's got these big blocks of Death Company. He went first. He's going up against a ton of vehicles. He does have the option to pregame move 12 again, charge.
Yes. So 24 inches, so he's across the board.
And these Death Company they have 3 or 4 Thunderhammers in the unit. They're big bad boys. He does have an option if he strings them out to have Dante give them Chapter Master rerolls. I'm just curious as to why he didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know, because maybe he felt like the train was in a good place where he felt like he could like bump into places he wanted to go.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want to yeet the whole army forward. Maybe he felt like the Death Company were going to be able to take more of that damage in the middle, and then he could countercharge.
Like he definitely felt like he could take more than he did.
Yes,
because there's no like the math wasn't good for him there. But that being said, like that just. Almost any Blood Angel player looking at that is going to be like, this is what I want. You have given me my fruit, all of these things to crack open and feed upon, and there's nothing inside to worry about. So yeah, it's a curious play to start it that way. But we're seeing Dante and that one remaining Sanguinary Guard going into one of the WAS bombs. Hopefully they can finish it off. I believe that's the one that's already been damaged by the Eradicators. I mean,
he's still got the Eradicators on the board. Like, there's still resources.
Does he?
Does he have the Eradicators? We'll double check. No, he does not.
No,
they're dead.
Gone.
They were eradicated.
I believe one of the WAS bombs must have picked them up. But yeah, like he's got this one.
So he also lost the Eradicators. That's crazy.
So he's got this one Death Company with a Thunderhammer, and he's got this Death Company Captain with a Thunderhammer. Like they'll do some work. They'll probably finish off this squad of two buggies, which would mean these Sanguinary Guard can kind of. He's probably going to split charge and hit these buggies and the bikes, try to finish off the bikes and take a few wounds off these buggies. Like he's splitting a lot of his damage potential just to make this kind of become a game.
Yeah, he has to. I don't know. The right flank seems quite strong. We'll see how this ends up. So just for everyone very quickly, we've got a game on table 2 where the Imperial Knights are taking their second turn and they're pushing into the mid board to try and take out this what originally started out as 14 War Dogs. While this is all going on, we do have our man in the field, Mr. Val Heffelfinger, and we're going to jump over to him right now, and we're going to find out what's happening at the rest of Capital City Bloodbath.
Where's the other big boy knight?
You're live.
Oh, I'm live? I'll tell you who's live. Val Heffelfinger's live. I'm putting on the glasses. Very important. I can't show my eyes. It's a style thing. You know, it wouldn't be a bloodbath if it was only one thing going on here, just 40K. We actually have multiple game systems being played. As a matter of fact, to my left here, we have the infamous Michael Grove. Used to play a little bit of the 40K. He's playing something called Age of Sigmar, apparently an alternative game you can play from our friends at Games Workshop, PLC. But over here, we have some other cooler game systems. I say we have a Song of Ice and Fire, based on the good seasons of that HBO show. But seriously, it looks great. We've got some people who come out for that today. If we keep going down a little bit, now this may not look like much right now, but if Tom, if you were to pan, and if the audience could just imagine tomorrow what this might be, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the future location of a 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy Tournament. It might look exactly the same tomorrow. I'm not sure that anyone's actually coming, but I'll tell you, the tables already are the players. If we keep going down a little bit past this soon-to-be hallowed ground, we're going to see a lot more AOS, but we're going to come up on something called Frostgrave? Frostblade? I'd never even heard of it. It's not Frostwave. It's Frostglaive. Freeblade. It's Freeblade. And oh my goodness, a live sighting. I have not seen these gentlemen in a long time. Former members of the Basement Collective playing Freeblade. And then if we keep coming down, I think at the very end here, we have a real-life sighting of X-Wing, the collectible little spaceship game. So that's pretty cool to me. I know this has been just a scintillating update. I hope the boys took their opportunity to go pee. At least one of them has. And I think what we'll do is we'll pass it back to the booth, and I'll come to you live next, maybe, from the garage sale.
Thank you very much to Tom and Val there for bringing us all the information around the room. Oh, some AOS tables. I could have done live commentary from the AOS tables at the same time. However, we're back on this table 2. So to catch you up, we're covering 2 games. We're covering Blood Angels versus Orcs. It's looking really good for Orcs at the minute, but Blood Angels are trying to fight back. They're doing the snapback, as I think it's technically called. However, on table 2, we've got this really exciting match between Burton and Ian. Ian's running his Chaos Knights, and Burton is running his Imperial Knights. Now, what happened in the first turn is the Chaos Knights kind of moved, the Imperial Knights moved into the center. We had one of our Armigers move in the center, and they managed to kill 2 of the 14 War Dogs. However, in the slapback coming from the Chaos War Dogs, it was crazy. We lost a Knight Crusader. We lost our Warlord as well, who was an Armiger of all things.
No, so the Crusader was the Warlord. And he was killed to all of the Melta shooting and autocannons that are in this War Dog list, which was not expected. Burton did not think that would happen. He did poke him out just a little bit too far here at this bottom ruin, which let all the War Dogs, even up in this top, have like a little bit of line of sight to pick him off and get some error. And then there were 2 War Dogs remaining that managed to pick off the Bondsman Armiger, one of his other units that had a relic, a very important relic for this list, the Bastard's Helm, which gives +1 to wound to 2 of the Armigers in the list. Burton, in the slapback, he did manage to pick up 2 more War Dogs in shooting, and then he brought in another close combat dog to the center, and they killed the War Dog that Ian had brought up to
really? He killed the War Dog as well?
He killed the War Dog in the middle.
Amazing.
So he managed to pick up 3 more War Dogs. So there's 9, I believe, now remaining for Chaos, or it might be down to 8. And Burton feels a little bit better. Yeah, so there should be 9 War Dogs remaining. Burton feels a little bit better about that. He was hoping to kill 1 more War Dog. He was hoping to at least bring him down.
This is a
5-4.
fascinating match of attrition and resources.
Yeah.
Like literally, big guns never tire, but in this case, one side will eventually tire.
And really all Ian's trying to do now is kind of line this up to take the middle. As you can see, he's popping on every objective that he can, and he's going to put as much firepower into that final Crusader, because if that Crusader dies, like Burton doesn't have the resources to come back.
Yeah. He just pushes the pendulum too far one way.
Yeah. So Burton has kind of fallen in behind this crate to get a little bit of protection from that. He is also touching this objective here at the bottom as well with the big boy. And he's just got to clench his butt and hope for the best. Hope that whatever shots go into him, he manages to make some saves.
Yeah, he's trying to get real close in there, right? Like, just get himself safe. And as you can see on the right-hand side, you can see him all protected there. Some nice angles of fire that kind of... I always like the top-down because I think it just gives you a really nice kind of, like, clear indication of those angles. But just looking at it, you can see where he's hidden there. And I think maybe he would struggle to... Like, it's going to be struggle to get at him.
Yeah, like... I don't think the lines of fire are there for literally every War Dog to get in at him. But he also, Ian also wants to have something to deal with the middle here. So a Thermal Spear just hit the Big Knight and did 6 wounds.
That's a good start.
That's a real good start.
That's a good start. No one's going to complain about that.
No.
Should we listen in? Let's listen in.
So yeah, let's do that.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, some quiet.
They're gone.
Oh, I think we can hear it.
They're just not
5.
talking, folks.
They're just not talking. They don't want to talk. No, they are. Hold on 1 second. You guys will be able to hear it in input moments. There we go.
5 ups, 4 up invulnerables, yeah. 1 more goes through. Just
Stubber.
1 damage.
Yeah.
Stubber. Feel no pain. 1 more goes through.
Stubber. 5. 1 from the stubber.
No,
One from the stubber is
no,
embarrassing. When you get 1 stubber shot going into a big knight, that's rough.
1 out of how many?
1 out of a low. Rinse and repeat.
Burton's not too happy that the first War Dog put 7 wounds onto him.
It's a good start.
Reroll a wound. 2 unvol saves.
Yeah, 1 goes through.
5. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Another Thermal Spear for 5.
5 damage from another Thermal Spear. That's rough as hell. That's
and no 6s on his Feel No Pain.
1, 2.
Oh, he got 1
3,
6. So
4, 5. But we got
now.
1,
Did he
2,
already use the
3,
stand-up stratagem
4,
on his previous
hit.
night? Is a good question.
Jesus.
Sorry, man.
And he
now
make
I
this
feel
one stand
bad.
up if it dies.
Don't feel bad. This is what you do.
5.
We want stuff to die. Wow, that was good.
You know the game, Pete, is going badly when one of the players is like, I'm at the apology stage now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Ian,
at the apology
Ian is
stage.
straight up apologizing for every roll he makes.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, bud, because this is a toughie. This is going rough, I'm going to say. Because if this Crusader goes down, so right at the very bottom of the board, you can see it's the Crusader, which is kind of the linchpin of what's holding Burton together here. I mean, even if he doesn't kill him, if he kills him, obviously that's fantastic.
If he bottom brackets him, it's still bad news.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's putting in a good portion of that damage right now, and you can see he's measuring to see what else is in line. And he's still feel like he's got a lot of resources still to throw in there.
Oh, yeah. Now, this guy's out of range, but he's just going to start targeting those guys in the middle, which is just exactly what he wants anyway. Burton really wanted to be able to make a couple of those saves. He needed to only lose 3 or 4 wounds to that first couple nights of shooting instead of being halved. He's down to, I believe, 12 at this point on that guy.
Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights, Pete, in this battle pack at the moment, as everything in Nephilim, how are they doing? Like, what's the kind of consensus? Because we know that the meta here at Capital City Bloodbath, we do have a lot of knights here.
We have a lot of knights. Canadians love knights because it's less work, and when it gets really cold, we can hold them in bed at night. That's what I used to do anyway with mine. But anyway. So far in the meta, they're doing okay. They're about a roughly 50 percentile army on both sides.
In the perfect spot.
We have seen a couple performances by Chaos Knights with Abaddon. We haven't really seen any pure Chaos Knights do amazing yet.
Also, it's been a CP on Transhuman on the big night.
Yeah, it must be. To try and because there's going to be probably 3 or 4.
Although obviously it won't be actually transhuman, it'll be a
trans robot.
Yeah, transhuman adjacent.
Transhuman adjacent.
Yeah.
Every time I watch Imperial Knights right now, I read the book Kingmaker, which just came out. Fantastic. Oh, another 6 damage.
Thermal spear, another 6 damage. So just to be super clear right now, Ian has fired 3 thermal spears
and done 17 or 16 damage so far.
He's pinged 17, but he's done 1 6-up, feel no pain. So
so that was on the middle knight, so we're good.
Okay.
Not good.
He's still rolling hot as hell.
Yeah.
He's rolling so well.
Spermal tears.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, he's doing thermal spears.
So why don't we cut for just a second because the Blood Angel combat was happening against the Orcs.
Of course.
Let's see what they were able to clear. So it looks like the middle fight.
Okay, so just on the previous table, the Knight Crusader had 9 wins left. Okay, so over table 1, let's catch you up with what happened. So the Blood Angels moved into the mid-board, kind of into that center square, and on the far left-hand side, 2 big units of Sanguinary Guard, 20 Death Company in the middle. They got shot to pieces in turn 1 by the Orcs, the Death Company
lost 19. There's 1 remaining with the Thunderhammer.
Sanguinary Guard went unit of 7 down to unit of 1. There's 1 unit of 7, which is now in the center fighting all of those Orcs, as you can see. The WASBombs are still alive, although we might still be in combat in the top left-hand corner.
I believe so, because there's Dante in there. There's a Sanguinary Priest and 1 Sanguinary Guard.
So we're still in the Blood Angel combat phase now.
It looks like one of the snaz wagons, or whatever they call them, has been dropped, or custom booster blasters has been killed by the Death Company. And it looks like this unit of bikes that was over here with the Sanguinary Guard has been removed. And
so the Orc bikes have gone down.
And they have tagged, no doubt, probably kind of tagged through the wall this Bonebreaker to kind of keep it from being able to move wherever it wants.
And also from it being able to charge, because it's pretty decent on the charge, the Bonebreaker. So that's an Orc buggy as well. Well, it's an Orc truck, really. Well, not an Orc truck, because that's actually a thing. Like an Orc mega truck.
So it looks like the clapback from the...
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
No, sorry.
From the Daka Jets has picked up 1 Sanguinary Guard. Do we know if any wounds have been put on the WASBomb yet, or if they're still going? Was this an interrupt by Will? It's possible he interrupted to try and clear out a Sanguinary Guard or not.
There's a lot of nice pinning that you can see. There's 2 bikes in the center, although 1 has just been lifted, grabbing that unit. The Sanguinary Guard at the bottom have also engaged in that unit of buggies as well. So that's really nice because lots of the output belonging to the Orcs has now been tied up in some way. So it's going to have to fall back.
So it looks like the Blood Angels really whiffed hard on this close combat. I'm being told they only picked up 1 Daka Jet with the 7 Sanguinary Guard, lost 1 or 2 in return. he lost the last remaining Death Company to this Booster Blaster, and between Dante, the Sanguinary Guard, and the Sanguinary Priest, they were only able to put 6 wounds on this Wazbomb.
That is really rough because he's going to want to take those planes in the top left-hand corner and he's going to push it into the bottom right-hand Sanguinary Guard, right? Then I feel like everything else he's got can deal with those Sanguinary Guard in the center.
Yeah.
And then, does he have a great board position?
Oh, I think he's fine.
You think he's in a good spot?
I think the Orcs are in a very good spot.
Interesting. Very interesting. Like, okay, all right, I'll take that. I feel like it's close though. Like,
I mean, I would love to be wrong because I'm
No,
a big Blood Angel stan. I'm also an Orc stan. I do own both armies. But man, Maxim really needed to at least clear out these the Booster Blasters. Having even one remain, is not.
It's interesting as well because with Armor Contempt, there's not tons of AP in an Orc army. That's generally the issue with the Orc army.
Now, yeah, and like Speedwog was already called turn 1, so Will is going to lose AP as time goes by, as that Speedwog runs out and the AP drops, that bonus AP goes away. But I think he did more than enough damage that turn 1. Picking up 20 Death Company with so little resources used was just massive. Like, Maxim really needed to take advantage of that first turn and clear some stuff out. Now, it's possible that it's also possible that he deployed very defensively, and that's why he didn't bother with the Death Company trick, but man, what a game. And the Knights, let's see how that big boy Knight's doing. Last we heard, he was down to 6 wounds.
So 6 wounds. 6 wounds.
Not anymore. He's down to 0.
Yeah, he is down to 0. Yes, he is dead. The big knight. So those thermal spears. I think Ian, unable to roll anything under a 5
for damage.
For damage on those thermal spears, has lifted him off. And this is a pretty devastating. So he's got 2 armigers belonging to Imperial Knights still in the center, and then there's 2 armigers on the far right hand side. So we've got 4. No, and then a 5th one on the left. So
we've got 5 armigers left. For
versus 9 War Dogs.
For Team Good Guy.
Yeah, for Team Good Guy.
And 8 or 9 War Dogs left for Team Bad Guy. And Team Bad Guy, pretty solid right now. And we're about to see, I think, another armiger picked up in the middle here. Oh no, just took a couple wounds.
So the War Dog shooting has been genuinely very impressive.
Those thermal spears have been doing massive damage.
Like, is there much difference between them and the armigers, like, in loadouts? Like,
no, not really. Not at all.
Interesting. He's just rolled very well, I guess.
And, like, getting through that ion bulwark on the Warlord, the one he killed turn 1, massive. Like, I would really love to see how those dice rolls went for both those guys, because it can't have been good.
Well, handily, Pete, the entire game is actually recorded in full. So not only are we bringing the games, but the entire disaster.
Yeah, just violence now being performed by Ian. He's so angry that he's doing so well.
Yeah.
That he decided to destroy both his model and the terrain.
And the terrain. Yeah, all of the games are going to be recorded in full, so you can listen back to them in the future, and we will upload them if you're interested to see. Just hear someone go, another 6. You rolled another 6.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're going to hear, I think. Let's tune into the players right now and see what they're saying about this matchup.
He rolls another 6.
I have 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. Strength is 12, 3 to 1. It is AP -3.
So I got 6s?
Yeah.
Nope.
And it's D3 plus 3 damage. So 6, 12, 13, 14 damage.
He's dead. Does he blow up? No.
That is another, as we heard, 14 damage. Another armiger dead?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It's not good.
It's not good. So now we're 9 War Dogs, 4 armigers.
Yep.
This is a tough. Although I think that armiger in the middle may get to swing into the War Dog, so we maybe can pull the points back round.
He can at least take that. He might be able to keep that middle objective, depending on what happens here. This is a close combat armiger that's hanging out here. He could come up and do some work on this objective.
They get withered.
And they get destroyed right away.
Chat, do not worry. We absolutely think that this is a huge blowout. We just talked about this a moment ago. This is absolutely dominant for the Chaos Knights. Yeah. And honestly, very interesting to see it. I quite like I like the all armature, all war dog build. I think you've
it's
got a lot of
amazing.
tools.
It is.
And I think it's quite fun. Probably plays really badly in some matchups.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where like Abaddon or like having like a backstop feature on top of your war dogs kind of comes in handy with some of these lists. But as we've seen with the way Ian's been playing, sometimes thermal spears will just kill everything.
Yes,
Just literally kill everything.
Like Nigel Matthews said in the chat, these don't do it at home though. This is a special outing performance. Maybe they just know that they're on stream and they're like, okay, it's time to perform.
Yeah,
absolutely. Time
yeah, exactly. They're the porn stars of Ian's collection for sure.
Yeah.
They know when to perform.
Only when they're given the opportunity.
Only
to
when
perform.
on camera.
Yeah, are they doing so? All right, so let's just jump back to table 1 right now. Let's jump to table 1 and let's have a look at how this game is unpacked. So we are now into Orcs turn 2. That is it.
It's bad.
Oh,
it's so bad.
It's so bad. I don't enjoy what's happened. Turn 1, very quickly, just to catch you up with what happened. First turn was taken by Blood Angels. Units moved into the top left-hand corner. They moved the Death Company into the center. Orcs returned by killing 19 Death Company, a bunch of Sanguinary Guard in the left. Then the Blood Angels in their turn 2, they tried to deal with it. They killed like 3 of the buggies that we saw in the center. But importantly, in my opinion, they killed the unit of bikes on the far right-hand side, giving themselves an option. Now we've just seen the move, and oh my goodness, they are about to unload. There's only 4 Sanguinary Guard left in the center.
Of the 7 that had gone in. So
there's 1 at the top left, along with the Sanguinor.
No, Dante and a Sanguinary Priest.
Okay.
Which I believe Will has just been like, I don't care about them anymore.
No, you can just be there at the top and do what you need.
Exist. Yeah, so it's not good. Like, these Sanguinary Guard are in trouble. These Sanguinary Guard are in a lot of trouble. This is not good for Maxim. Really needed to pick up probably 2 or more buggies than he did. And he really needed to bracket that Wazbomb, and he didn't even do that. So it's bad news all around for Maxim. He's got the lead on points currently, but like that's going to quickly change here because the Death Copters are coming in from.
We're about to go into a withering shooting phase for the Orcs. If anything, the last turn was to go by. But we're about to go in the field right now for a withering interview with Mr. Val Heffelfinger. Here we go. You're live.
Val Heffelfinger here in the field. Exclamation point, other games if you want to track what I'm tracking and explain it to me. And who better to explain stuff to me than the coach of Canada himself, Jeremy Atkinson, or as we say, Cooch of Canada. So how's the event been going for you so far?
It's pretty good so far. Won my first 2 games pretty handily. I'm here to have fun. I'm enjoying myself so far.
And it's about your fun too. Like I'm noticing there's a lot of time left in the round, and you're just wandering around aimlessly. I was wandering around aimlessly. Why is it that you had some free time?
I showed no mercy in that last game.
So what are you playing?
I'm playing Imperial Knights, Tyrannus, 7 little Armigers, and 2 big Questoris class Knights.
So the little guys. Tell me about them. What are they doing? Because what were you up against in this particular round?
So I was playing against Space Marines, specifically Death Watch. That was the Army of Renown, so he has a bunch of neat tricks for auto-wounding and teleporting around the map. So the Armigers, the little guys, they're there as my shield, as kind of my front screen to keep the 2 big knights safe. They get buffed up by the big knights so that they're -1 damage, so that they are nice and tanky. And they just go about killing whatever comes near them.
Now you wound up on this one 98-50. So that's that's got to be good. What happened in the game? Why was it so lopsided?
So there were 2 things that happened. The first one, so he went first, but he didn't have a lot of shooting. He was a more melee-focused, short range, so he wasn't able to come into me, do very much damage. But what ended up happening as a result of that was he advanced up a unit, and probably his most scary unit, to within range where I could shoot with my entire army, and then could also charge it afterwards. So a big 10-man brick of 3 wound T5 Gravis Marines vaporized.
You don't want to see that.
No, he was very unimpressed at the end of that. And then on turn 2, I did a magic trick and made another 10 Gravis Marines disappear.
And he said, I'm going to go for lunch.
I think I owe him a beer at this point. I think the bar's open now, so I should probably go buy that.
Well, we'll have to look into the status of the bar. I love lots of nights in the meta because there's people standing around that I can talk to. With that said, though, I think it's time to go back to the booth, to the Falcon, and...
Thank you very much, and we're back. So this is our exciting game between Blood Angels. Thanks to Val and Tom, doing great work, and Rich, our table boss. Can't stop thanking them all enough for doing great work. Back on table one. Back on table one.
Back to violence.
Yeah, back to the violence. So off air, the table boss, Rich, he turned up, and he was like, I don't know if you've noticed, but he also has got a bunch of Deathcopters, which we did not know about. And they are also...
We knew about them. We thought they were somewhere else.
Well, I didn't know about them.
They were in Deep Strike.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no, because he already killed a lot of stuff with the guns last time. Yeah. And now he's doing some additional guns. More guns, which is a shame. So this is going to be a super, super tough match for Maxime to come back from, I think. Because look at the board presence.
One thing I'll say is I generally try not to call a game early because I've done it in the past and it's bit me in the butt.
I like calling games early. I'm like, I'll get it wrong. Let's see how it's going.
But, you know,
this is tough.
I mean, we've already seen one unit of Sanguinary Guard deleted, which we knew was going to happen.
But
he's lighter already. These assault intercessors just don't exist anymore, guys. Just pretend they're not there.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. Look, we're picking up more Sanguinary Guard. Like, guys, I'm sorry. This game is super over. I really feel like Blood Angels needed to be so much more aggressive that turn one. Because if they could have gotten Death Company into the lines, killed a squad of, like, those custom booster blasters, would have made such a big difference. Or the 3 shock jumps. Playing as like, laid back as he did, kind of hide in the middle. It was
Table
rough.
2 said they're making it look good for the stream. Okay.
Oh, okay. Let's cut to Table 2.
Let's look at Table 2.
Oh, the remaining Armigers have come into play. He, instead of coming up here and trying to deal with these two, he said, F it. I'm coming in the middle. We're going to make the plays. We're going to clear everything off.
Yeah, he's gone very aggressive. So this is an Armiger match. Well, it wasn't initially. This is a bunch of War Dogs belonging to Chaos Knights. Started out 14 belonging to Ian and his Chaos Knights. However, then Burton had his Imperial Knights, but he lost his Crusader turn 1.
His Warlord with Ion Bulwark, so he had a 4+ invuln. He had the possibility of rezzing it on a 4+ with the stratagem. Failed the 4+, so it didn't come back to life. He's just living his worst possible life on, as far as we've been told by the table boss, 4 thermal spears did 20-some-odd damage to that Warlord alone.
Wow.
So he was already on 3 wounds with nothing left off the first 4 shots he took. So, yeah, it's been a bad scene for Burton here. Feel bad for the guy. Look at him, though. He's so happy. Like, you reach that point when you're losing a game that badly where you go from sadness to bliss because you've just accepted fate.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he kind of has to accept it, right? This is.
And it's gorgeous. It is a gorgeous army to look at.
Yeah, it does look really nice. I think our roaming camera is getting us some nice.
Look
oh
at those guys.
My goodness!
Look at that Warlord. He's so
hello.
beautiful.
I wouldn't mind him dying if he looked that good all the time.
Well, that's. I mean,
I'm like he gets to go back on. Like if I was that guy,
that model.
Yeah, I want him to just go back on there. I'm like, I hate him being on this table. I want him. The glowy lights. Tom's impressed by the glowy lights. Love that. Like he loves that. That's
the glowy
great.
lights took the resolution right out of the shot too.
Yeah, I think it's just the autofocus. We're going to get. Yeah, there you go. There we go. That's what it's about. I mean, just absolutely amazing, stunning stuff.
Oh yeah.
We're going to try and get some shots of the best painted when they get laid out later on for you guys. So I'll create some B-roll for that. So
and
you guys.
Burton is always in the running for best painted.
I mean, it has to be, surely.
Oh, for sure.
He has to be. He has to be.
The custom jobs he's done with the lances on his armigers, it's great. So let's go back to the top down. Oh, it looks like somehow Burton lost the model and not Ian. in a 2v1 fight. Burton is just like, this is just how life is now. This is my life.
Imperial Knights really just need to go over to the Chaos side, it does seem at this point. Yeah. That's pretty tough. Yeah, this is looking very dominant on both. And we've got an hour left on the round. We might, with these games still in swing, I might take you for an Age of Sigmar adventure out in the field. I got the opportunity to do that. I could go out into the field and tell everyone what's happening in the Age of Sigmar tournament. That would be a fun little addition. We could do that. I mean, we could go with the camera. I could just go over. Like,
Rob is so excited about Age of Sigmar, guys, and
but I mean, these games are over.
These games are 100% over. We're just watching a massacre now.
We're watching 100p. 100p. So I might. In fact, I'll trade. We'll trade. We could do that.
Yeah.
You know what to do with the. You know what to do with the buttons.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay, no problem. No problem. We're going to just listen to these players have a great game, and we'll be back in 1 minute, chat.
2, 4, 6. So this is actually at 12 now.
1, yeah.
So start my turn. I'll hold more, which is 12.
Yep.
We're locked in combat. You get some jank that you don't like me being in your deployment zone.
I don't think it's going to really matter at this point. You can just kill me by shooting.
So in the I'm going to be a dick, I'm sorry.
Command point.
In the command phase, I get a D3 wounds back.
Whew.
So 3 puts him back up. In the command phase, I'm actually going to take the D3 damage and move him an extra 3 inches. So he takes 2 damage, but makes him move 14. And he takes, what did I say, 2 damage?
Up against Arcan. So that means the Oceanic Bone Reapers have already lost. That was an army selection, interestingly, before they even got in. Lovely. Haven't heard French played since Worlds, in Age of Sigmar. That's great. So over on this table, we've got 2 legends, actually. Bulldog Wargaming. Fist bump, let's go. There we go. Against my very good friend, Ollie. There we go. Ollie, how you doing in your match?
Good. I think I'm winning.
You think you're winning?
Depends on priority.
Oh, a classic. How do you feel about the match?
I think he's winning. Depends on priority.
Absolutely excellent. Okay, good. That looks like some... the Skaven are out. Okay, brilliant. So Ollie's actually one of my very good personal friends. We play Warhammer all the time. One of my other very good personal friends is Francois. Hey, Rob. Hello, how you doing? We're live on the internet. Hello. How's your match going?
Not very good.
Oh, okay. Ollie's doing fine, he says.
Is he? Oh, yeah. No, like it's not too bad. I'm leading on points at the moment, 10-6, but there's not much left on the battlefield, and I think my Star Drake is about to bite the dust.
No, the Skull Root is horrible. The Skull Root, that's so bad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, the worst is like this dude's spell where like you cast, and on a fight you roll your
Warsong Bomb.
Yeah. But it goes everywhere. Like he's wiped like pretty much all my heroes that way.
Oh no. Okay. Well, it's lovely talking to you both. Good luck with your game. Good luck. Okay. So pretty exciting matches. Let's keep going. We got loads. We got loads to talk about. What have we got going on? There's some pretty famous people. There's some Season of War players over here. Let's see. Hi. Loads of really exciting matches. We got Carriage and Overlords. Fist bump. How's your match going? Tell us what's happening.
I'm doing quite well.
Oh, you're doing really well.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you playing as?
Skaven, Scryer.
Oh, wow. You've got a boat, though. You're fine.
That's all that's left.
Do you mind if I interview you? How's your match going?
Not great. Go Trick died turn 1. And
what two?
Rats. So many rats. They just shoot a lot.
That's horrible. Like, just, I don't know. What's your plan?
Get a couple points before this is all over.
That's a good plan.
Call it a day.
That's a good plan.
Get a beer.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with your match. You can. That looks bad. That's rough. We've got an exciting match here. We've got the famous Jordan from Season of War. Sorry to disturb your game. How's your game going?
Good. Well, right now, Krynos is fighting an Incarnate, and I have 40 Reavers trying to pick him down.
You're going to try and bring down the Kragnos with the shots?
Well, I'm going to have to. Well, unless the Incarnate can do it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the Incarnate's yours as well?
The Incarnate's mine, yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. there's a scared face on his opponent. And that looks like there's some Gargants playing here at the event. I think it's the only Gargants match that we've seen, so it's looking pretty fun. Age of Sigmar's in a really interesting place right now. There's no armies above the 55% win rate, which is pretty exciting. There's not many armies above 55%, so it's a pretty open field. I think there's 44 players here in Canada. There's a big French representation. I know Quebec City tends to have a lot of big Age of Sigmar events in French, which is really fun. And so that's everything. There's a purple sun. That's all we need. Welcome to Age of Sigmar. So I'm just going to go back over to the booth now, to the guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick wander through. Thanks very much, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon. There we go, when we're back. We're back. Absolutely great work. Yeah, we got this. Solid work. Me and Val Heffelfinger.
Just the two of us.
Yeah, just the two of us. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope everyone enjoyed it.
Rob, how was it walking?
I mean, running back was... This is such a huge venue.
It's large. It's big. It's in charge.
It's ready to rock. It's ready to rock. Okay, the final moments of these matches, unfortunately.
We've got some real handsome gents. I'm going to be looking forward to talking to them. So that will come in handy.
Okay.
It's hard to talk. Although I liked how you just interrupted people in a pleasant and friendly manner.
Oh yeah, the Age of Sigmar community is very used to me just getting in their face at this stage.
If I were to try that on these 40K rows, might be some arms being barred.
I think you'd be fine.
Might be some hands being tossed.
I think you'd be surprised by how much people really want to be like, I'm doing quite well, or I'm not.
Well, I tell you what, guys, I'm going to be a little more bold. Maybe in chat, tell me, should I be more bold? Should I just be bullying people into talking to me?
Yeah, you should. You should. We did it at Worlds. They were not happy.
Yeah.
And we continue to do that.
Well, at some point, you got to put the stream first.
Every time. That's how I feel about it. All right, so catch everyone up. There's been some pretty exciting matches going on, Val. We've had two matches. Table 1, it's been pretty interesting. We've had Maxime versus Will. Maxime made a kind of bold choice turn 1, putting a load of units in the center and the left-hand side. The Orcs then dominated in the shooting phase. Then the Blood Angels tried to come back, do some fighting. They managed to kill a couple of buggies. And then all of the Orcs unloaded on all of the other Blood Angels. And now I think there's just maybe Dante left in the top left-hand corner, because you can see the Sangren Guard on the right-hand side.
If you wanted one guy in your corner, Dante maybe?
Yeah, you'd want Dante. Yeah, you'd probably want him.
I was going to say.
So I'm going to make a bold claim and officially call this for the Blood Angel. No, I'm joking. This is an Orcs game. It's an Orcs game. Orcs have got it in the bag, which as two Orc players.
The two Orc players, that's correct.
As two Orc players, we're fans.
And I'd say that this game state is one that even you and I can read.
Yeah, it's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's an over. And then
go ahead.
And then going to table 2, we had the War Dogs.
Yes.
Yeah, we had the
Dogs of War.
Yeah, the Furiosa, Mad Max, Thunder Road, Hell in a Cell sort of situation with a bunch of Imperial Knights, at the bottom. The Imperial Knights did okay. They went up and they killed 2 War Dogs on the first turn. In the first turn, though, for the War Dogs and the Chaos Knights, they killed the big Warlord Knight Crusader, which is pretty tough. And they also killed an Armiger. Then the slapback, we lost another 3 War Dogs for when the Imperial Knights had their turn. Then the Chaos Knights, they slapped back and they murdered the next Knight Crusader. And then it just went downhill from there. And now think we've got 2 Armigers versus 6 War Dogs, maybe 7 War Dogs. So again, as much as I think Burton is going to try and put some points on the board, he's just hoping that painting competition's got some good prizes at this stage.
Yeah, and also I'd say he's going to do pretty well in the bikini contest later.
Very good.
You know.
He may do pretty well at that. So yeah, those are our matches. I think that's pretty much it. I think even trying to get some interviews, I think it might take too long.
Gotcha.
Between then and now.
Yes.
So I think those games are called. Let's take a moment. Let's listen to how the players are enjoying their match.
And I'll charge you. It's good. And 4 attacks. 1 hit.
I'll pile in.
Sure. No damage. Brutal.
I'll start off with my little guy, 4 attacks. 1 wound from my little punk, no AP.
Stops it.
Oh, nothing. Beginning of my turn. Nope.
I need to.
Oh, yeah. What do you get for
didn't
points?
gain or lose any. I didn't destroy anything, so I actually should lose 1. Do I lose 1 on a 5-up? I do not. I think that's it.
So
I yielded no ground.
So is that another 3?
I fell back, so it doesn't count. But nobody's in my deployment still. Maybe this guy?
10 inches. Is it wholly within, or?
Even at 10, he's not in.
Okay.
So I get 1 point there. 1 point in yield. I didn't renew the oaths. I didn't kill any more guys, so I think that's...
so start of my turn.
Start of your turn.
I get 12.
Yeah.
So
I'm
wrapping
gonna
up the
get
scoring for the end of that
4
turn.
again for that.
Pete,
I'm gonna
what do you
get
think?
3 for that.
Well,
I'm going to move that.
Ian somehow
I'll get
only on
another
36
3
points. I
later.
believe they're just not updating us anymore because they know it's a massacre. Ian here, just so apologetic. Burton loving it, loving every minute of it. We're now looking at what 7 war dogs to 2 armigers
Yeah,
remaining.
it's looking really tough.
And like moving into turn 4, I really feel like it's anybody's game.
It can be anyone's. I like how we chose 2 blowouts.
We did.
Not just 1.
We did.
This is not just 2 blowouts, but I don't mind a blowout. I think they're really exciting.
I do love a blowout. The 2 I didn't feel like both would be blowouts, but the Blood Angels losing that many Death Company to 3 models was a bit unexpected.
Okay, so let's before we go to our infield report, let's quickly just talk through it. Blood Angels, do we think that there was a mistake that got made? Do you think we could have seen a different game?
I feel we could have seen a different game. Now, we'd have to cut back to the footage to double check. Blood Angels have this ability where a unit of Death Company can pre-game move 12 inches and then, move again. So oftentimes, and you go first, you say, okay, I'm going to move my Death Company up 12 inches. I'm going to chain them back so that one of them is within range of Dante. Then you say, okay, my command phase, Dante's going to give full rerolls to this. And with a 10-man squad, it's even easier because you can chain them the full 12 inches up like this without any worry. They move 12 inches again. They're now 4 or 5 inches away from the front line of the Orcs, if not closer. And then you say, okay, I'm just going to make this very simple charge and destroy your life. And to me, that's kind of like the gimme play in this matchup. That being said, we'd have to go back and look at how Maxim deployed. Maybe he deployed very defensively, thinking he was going to go second. There's a lot there to unpack. The very kind of casual way he dropped the drop pod here in the middle and tried to hide behind the wall rather than also kind of bringing them up and causing grief to Will. Another interesting play. It's something I'd love to hear from him, like how he planned that turn 1 out to be the way it did, like why he made the decisions he did. Because it was just devastating. And yes, Will's rolls were hot. Maxim's were not when they needed to be. But Maxim just has Dante, a Sanguinary Priest, and 5 Incursors left. So this game is 100% over.
Okay. Well, with both games over, we're going to go to our man in the field, Mr. Val Heffelfinger, and he's going to let us know what's been happening at the rest of the tournament.
Yes, that's right. I'm going to tell you what's happening in the entire tournament. Over here to my right, we're witnessing the wrap-up of the lone wolf in the field. Connor, he just wrapped up his game. Down 72-71, a real tight slobber knocker. Connor, just a quick comment. What did you think of the game?
I think it was 80% Abaddon's fault that I lost. So we'll give him the MVP for sure.
You know, you got to admit, it's nice that his number's finally coming up. You know, the poor guy, he's been...
I liked him myself. I've personally always thought that he's like the least fun Chaos character, and the other guys are getting shafted, you know? Like, how about like Huron Blackheart with the hand flamer thing? He's always been a personal favorite with the little buddy that casts psychic powers.
Absolutely. And now you've played Mortarion. You got Abaddon. 2 more rounds.
I like Mortarion. As a Death Guard player, I do like Mortarion a lot.
All right, well, I can't wait to see what happens next. The chat is fired up. Okay, we're going to keep going. Over here, we're noticing the Gargantuan Squiggoth is dead. Josh, how's the game going?
It is not going well. Tyranids are very nasty still.
Tyranids are nasty. You heard it here first, especially when you bring a list that has a Gargantuan Squiggoth in it. So let's keep going this way. Working down the aisle, I spy with my little eye something that is Max Dubois. Max Dubois, how you doing, my friend? How are things going, Hellfire Painting?
It's Hellfire Hobbies, but thank you. I hate knights, man. But like Brett's being a gentleman and he's letting me succeed everything I'm trying. So, you know, but knights are the worst.
Now, is it true that you're being a gentleman?
Absolutely. There's no other way to do it.
I'm very happy to hear that. Guys, continue on with your game. Thanks for stopping by with me. Now, as always, a good friend of mine, Dustin Henshaw, just sort of standing alone, because he stands alone. Dustin, how did it go this round?
Well, the cheese stands. Oh, sorry.
He's verklempt. He's verklempt.
My own joy here. No, it went well. I applied some custodes, like 18 bikes, but only a couple of hurricane bolters. So my swarm of neophytes managed to shred them down.
You love the neophytes because they're new and they're just working to try and impress. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's all they want to do. They +1 to wound, strike 6, -2 damage. Nothing to slough at, man. I mean, that's good.
I'm not snuffing.
You never snuff, Al.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Good work, Dustin. Maybe we'll see you soon.
Maybe you will.
Maybe we'll see more of Dustin as we continue down the row here. Ron, it's going well. We got camera. How's the game going for you?
It's fun. This guy's awesome. I love getting smoked.
Loves getting smoked. It's true. Alex Stewart here, wrapping up. How Alex, was your round?
It went very well. I had an excellent opponent. Great game.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Is it true what I've heard? You're an excellent opponent.
He's an even better opponent, so it's not fair.
You know, they say that there's no love at Warhammer tournaments, and I just want to point out here that people, when they're on camera, pretend to really like one another, and I think that's the key. You want to have more cameras at Warhammer tournaments so people are nicer to one another. Hamza looks like he's working on something. Tim doing math, always dangerous. Tim, I know you suffered a bit of a head injury in Europe for Team Canada.
I did.
How'd this round go for you, though?
Good. Got really aggressive, and in the Eldar matchup, I have to, but he couldn't answer me, so it went downhill from there for him.
Well, I guess that's how it went, huh? It's okay. It's okay. See, the camera does the work for us. It just keeps us civil. Let's go over this way. Mr. Eric. Hello. We'll do one last wrap up here. Now, you brought the Knights out when we played together in Europe. You were running the Knights, were you not? Yes. So how does it feel to have them back on the table?
It's really good. It's just an army, so like not easy to play, but it just feels good to play. It's no model count, so it's just really fun. I love it.
I don't understand why I don't play Knights. I feel like that's my jam. Just a couple big boys, hang out, have a nice time. Thanks for your comments. We'll have to tune in later. Is it going well here?
Sadly for him, it's not like it's going well for me.
But your opponent has a much nicer shirt, and that is how you win in life. So I think that gets to the end of the row. I might grab a table, reserve it for me and my friends to eat lunch at. Speaking of which, if anyone would like to eat lunch with me, I might grab a table there. I hope you've enjoyed this little amble around the convention hall and we will be sure to bring you lots more scintillating interviews. I think I said those words right. Later on today. But for now, we're going back to the booth to our friends. Rob Syme.
Hello, the other guy's the Falcon of all people. So, welcome back, everyone. Thanks to Val and Tom for bringing us the Imperial reporting, and also a massive thank you to Rich for being an excellent table boss.
Dicky boy.
Yeah, doing really good work. Hello, welcome back. Our 2 games are over. Blood Angels lost to Orcs, but I'm happy because I'm an Orc fan.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so I don't mind that. And and it was pretty devastating. I think a lot of dice kind of changed the shape of that game, but ultimately, like, they just got blammoed off the board.
The Blood Angels needed to be a little more Blood Angel-y and less whatever was going on.
They got very bloodied. They turned into blood.
They turned into only blood.
They were Blood Angels.
Yeah.
And then our Chaos Knights just showing some dominant firepower versus our Imperial Knights. And again,
should have been the dominant firepower. That should have been a game where the Chaos Knights had to take that middle and hope for the best. No.
Yeah. Nope.
What if 5 thermal spears killed Buddy's Warlord turn 1?
Yeah, just off you go. Yeah, those thermal spears do incredible work. And that's it. That's it for round 2. Round 3, we will be back in about an hour. When I do the holding screen in a minute, you'll be able to check that out and you'll be able to see. You can also check out all of our socials. It's going to be on the FLG Network. It's on Tsports Network Twitch. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on Twitter. There's loads of places to check it out. This is only the wrap-up of round 2 of 6 rounds. 2 more rounds today, and then 2 more rounds tomorrow for 120 people. And I think we'll end up with probably maybe 2 people on 6-0. Maybe
2 people on 6-0. Depends on draws, things like that, drops. One thing, guys, that I haven't made clear since we started, we're going to be streaming for probably like 11 or 12 hours today. We're going to be a little exhausted by the end. If you want to help us out, if you could just DoorDash us literally any food. They're not feeding us here.
We're at the convention center in Ottawa.
EY Center in Ottawa.
EY.
I'm not a picky person. This man's a vegetarian. I could eat literally anything. So just whatever you want, pop into DoorDash at 4899 Upland Avenue or something like that. Send us some food. Greatly appreciated. Dickie is wasting away over here. Darren walked over about 5 minutes ago with a bowl of ramen. I don't even know where he got it, and he just slurped it in my face.
Yeah, so any DoorDash, that would be great. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the coverage. Pete's been amazing. Thank you so much, and thank you to the rest of the team. We'll be back for 2 more rounds today. 2 more rounds, so we're going to go for some lunch now. Thanks very much, and see you soon. Thank you also to the players.